I freeze.
Mr. Morton and Mr. Robinson, I see that you're here. We don't have any defendants yet. If somebody gets here at 9, we'll get started then. Otherwise, I'll start at the 9:15-ish mark to start calling the defaults.
Absolutely understood, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Mr. Ali,
Yes, Your Honor.
there are no defendants here as of yet. This court starts promptly at 9 o'clock. And there are no defendants by 9:15. We'll start taking defaults, okay?
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Your Honor, Attorney Moore, just for clarification, Mr. Ali is a law clerk with my office who's going to just be assisting me in monitoring.
I know, but he comes in dark and I wanted to see what he was here for. Thank you.
Understood.
Miss Francis on the landlord tenant docket?
Good morning, Judge.
How are you, ma'am?
I'm good. As you know, I do everything.
Mr. Robinson, Miss Durkin is here. Do you need to speak with her?
Yes, Judge.
Mary Ann, let's get Mr. Robinson and Miss Durkin into a breakout room.
Judge, could you put my client in there also? I see he's,
Absolutely.
thank you.
And then Ms. Young, and is there someone here for, oh yeah, Miss Francis, Ms. Young is here. Do you need to speak with her?
Yes, please.
Mary Ann, let's get Miss Francis and Ms. Young into a breakout. So, Mr. Ali, we have a moment. So you're a law clerk at Pallett's Law Firm.
Hi, Your
Where
Honor.
are you in school, sir?
I am finishing up my undergraduate degree at Wayne State University,
And you're studying?
psychology, but I am applying to law school at the moment.
What year are you at Wayne State?
It's my final semester.
Oh, wow. And where do you want to go to law school?
I have a few options. I've applied to Wayne State, and a few other schools.
Is Wayne State your top choice?
Other than the University of Michigan, yes.
Okay. I was a psychology undergrad too, so
Yeah.
interesting path.
Yep.
Are you sitting too close to Mr. Morton?
Yes.
So I'm a little out of the loop. How soon would you know about law school? When is application deadline, decisions and that kind of thing?
Should be the next couple of months.
Oh,
Mhm.
so let me look, by our next landlord tenant rotation. Nope, that's gonna be too soon. So I'll have to follow up with Mr. Morton. If you don't come back, I'll follow up in April when we're back on landlord tenant cases. Interesting. And Mary Ann, say, I've been drinking out of my Wayne State mug and I didn't bring it in. If I know Mr. Ali was coming, I would have brought it with me.
Murphy's Law.
It was a Christmas present from my niece, who is third year at Wayne State. So, Mr. Ali, what exactly are you doing in the office? How are you helping out?
Just learning at the moment for the most part, just trying to get a hold of all the information of everything that goes on in the office so far. So that's mostly my priorities, just kind of learning the process, learning how court works and everything like that as well.
Have you actually been to court?
No, I have not yet.
Mr. Morton should have you somewhere, have you in person so you can, Zoom is one thing, but being physically in a courtroom is something different.
Absolutely. That's the plan.
Now, have you always wanted to go to law school or is this a newfound passion?
For the most part, other than I think the only other thing I really considered was medical school. That was the original plan. And that just didn't pan out the way I thought it would be, and kind of fell into law and decided to follow it.
Kind of fell into law? How do you fall into law?
Through I don't know, I guess understanding and sort of familiarize myself with what the I guess the career actually is, and started to take interest in it. And like most people, exposure to the law through day-to-day stuff, and Yeah, that's pretty much it. And I just kind of realized my passion for it.
Interesting. When people tell me they want to go to law school, I always ask, have you been to court? Have you actually, it's not TV, real court, real law firm is a lot different, a lot slower moving. I'm sure Mr. Morton can attest to that.
It is.
Mr. Ali, I put you on the spot, but you can go back to what you were doing. I was just curious.
No, I appreciate it. I appreciate the questions and the interest. I do.
I've
Thank
known Mr. Pallets for quite a long time, and so I'm always interested to see who he's bringing up through his office. Was that sufficient time with Ms. Durkin?
Yeah, and Mr. Bratton also came in, Judge.
I
So-
see him.
Yeah, so we're ready.
If you're ready,
Yeah.
this is 224296 LT, Evergreen Town and Country versus Nicole Durkin and Ryan Broughton. May I have your appearances, please?
Good morning, Your Honor. For the record, Steve Robinson appearing on behalf of Evergreen.
Ma'am, state your name for me, please.
Nicole Durkin.
And sir, your name, please.
Ryan Broughton.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for the hearing on plaintiff's request to lift the Sarah stay. Case was originally scheduled back on January 3rd. None of the parties appeared. Mr. Robinson, you've had a chance to speak to both defendants. How are we proceeding this morning?
Your Honor, I believe we have a consent.
And the terms of that consent are,
Rent due and owing in the amount of $5,241, court costs of $168 for a total of $5,409 to be paid on or before 2/28/23. Writ to issue upon non-payment of any portion of that.
thank you. Mr. Broughton, would you turn your video on for me, please, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Hang on. I'm sorry.
Thank you. That's okay.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you. Ms. Durkin, you were able to hear the terms just placed on the record by Mr. Robinson just now?
Correct.
And it's your agreement that there is $5,241 in past due rent owing in this matter?
Yes,
And you've agreed to entry of a consent judgment for that amount and court costs of $168 for a total of $5,409.
that's what Mr. Broughton agreed to. I'm currently not residing there and haven't been since this debt has started. This is his debt. So he agreed to that.
Well, ma'am, it's not his debt. It
I know,
appears to be oh, hold on. No,
Sorry.
just so we're clear. It appears to be a joint obligation. You're listed as a defendant on this case.
In those terms, then yes, I do consent. He
Okay.
made the deal.
Same questions to you, Mr. Broughton. You agree that there is $5,241 in rent due and owing
Yes, ma'am.
and $168 in court costs?
Yes.
And you've agreed to entry of a consent judgment totaling $5,409.
Yes, ma'am. To be paid.
And that
by
you
the
have until
28th.
And that you have until February 28, 2023 to
Yes,
pay
ma'am.
that amount or vacate the property. Okay. Inasmuch as we're past the period allowed for a stay in this matter, the court will lift the stay and enter a consent judgment with the terms just placed on the record. Ms. Durkin, did Mr. Robinson explain to you that because you're not represented by an attorney and Evergreen is, that this judgment will not be final and enforceable for 3 days?
Okay.
Mr. Broughton, was that explained to you?
No, but I understand it.
That being the case, Mr. Robinson, were you authorized to sign the Ms. Broughton, I'm sorry, Ms. Durkin and Mr. Broughton's names? Or
Your
are you going
Honor.
to circulate that consent?
Your Honor, I was just going to ask that if the parties would allow me to sign that consent judgment on their behalf.
Yes.
That's fine.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Mr. Robinson will submit it to the court. I'll sign it. Copies will be mailed to you at the addresses we have on file.
Oh,
Anything
wait.
else, Ms.?
Yes, I'm sorry, Judge, when you announced the addresses, Ms. Durkin indicated she's not living there. Is there an address, Nicole, do you want me to, the court? to-
Yeah. Do you want me to say it now or?
Yes,
Judge?
please.
Okay, 7311 Deering Street in Westland, Michigan. That's 48185.
And how do you spell Daring?
DEERING.
Thank you. Ms. Durkin, your address has been added to the court file. The signed consent judgment will be mailed to you at that address. Anything else, Mr. Robinson?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Anything else, Ms. Durkin?
No,
Anything else, Mr. Broughton?
No, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck to you. Have a good day.
You
Take care,
too.
Judge.
Thank you. This is 224671 LT, G&I Harbor Club versus Diane Chapman.
Your Honor, Attorney Ian Morton. Attorney Ian Morton of Palace Law on behalf of the Waverly, was it /GNI Harbor Club, the plaintiff?
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for a hearing on plaintiff's request to lift the Sarah stay. It's been in place now for 97 days. The notice was mailed to the defendant at the address we have on file, directing them to appear here at 9 o'clock. It's now 9:15 by the court's clock. There are no unidentified persons in the court's waiting room or in this meeting room. Based on the defendant's failure to appear, Mr. Morton, how would you like to proceed?
At this time, we would ask a default judgment for possession be entered. Rents retained are $4,349.50. Court costs of $167 for a total of $4,516.50. I will advise the court that the tenant has attempted to make payments throughout during some of the stay period. But those amounts have not cured the total balance. Further, there has been no ERAP money that's been received either.
Thank you, sir. Based on the defendant's failure to appear this morning as directed by the court, the stay will be lifted in this matter. Default judgment will enter with rent and retain possession, $4,349.50, $167 in court costs for a total judgment of $4,516.50. Mr. Morton, if your office will submit that judgment for entry.
Absolutely, Your Honor. And I would advise the court that Mr. Ali will be finding his way into a physical courtroom, but he's been with us for, and I think we're hitting the second, the first, kind of total full week, but the second week of his joining our firm. So we're looking forward to having him with us.
Wonderful. I look forward to seeing him on our next rotation.
Absolutely, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
Have a good day. Good luck to you,
You too.
Mr. Ali.
Thank you, Your Honor.
This is 224797 LT. This is Huron Estates MHC versus Nicole Lang. This matter was scheduled this morning at 9 a.m. The court, excuse me, is in receipt of a dismissal by the plaintiff. Neither party has appeared this morning. Court will enter that dismissal. This is 224794 LT Integrated Property Services versus Shamika Young. May I have your appearances, please?
I think they're still in the
Let's
breakout
see.
room.
Yeah, I don't have privileges. I couldn't see they were not back yet. So I wonder if we could possibly, I don't know who the MIDC is for the arraignments, if we could get that Van Buren case on any earlier than 10 o'clock.
Yeah, Marlisa called and said she does have, there's a total of 3 now. And
Oh,
yep, and she's getting a hold of everybody and they should be getting on. Let me ask her about that 10 o'clock though. Give me one
I don't want to rush them. I just, we will be done a lot earlier than anticipated, and rather than have the departments wait.
Okay.
Morning, Judge.
Oh, there
Good
she is.
morning, ma'am. How are you?
I'm good. You?
I'm wonderful.
Good. I have Van Buren done. Van Buren's does not want MIDC. Wait, I have one done from Wayne County Sheriff. They do not want, or they do want MIDC. And then I'm waiting on the final rest of the paperwork from Sumter to get theirs done. The 2 I have done, I'll send up with security, okay?
Thank you so very much.
You're welcome.
So you're finishing your first week on the job and the judge starts asking you questions about,
I know. He didn't say anything, did he though? He just kind of went along with it.
well, the ideal of being a clerk while you're still in school and learning the ropes on how things work, I think gives you a great advantage.
Judge,
Ma'am,
we have a defendant that's turned himself in here on a felony. And Mariah's just waiting on the bond rec from the department.
okay,
And then he does want MIDC, so Josh will see him via Zoom. And then we'll send him up.
well, Josh is here.
Josh Kaplan's here.
Well,
Oh, he
he's
just logged in.
Mr. Kaplan, he was just in our waiting room.
I just saw him log
So-
in, yes.
If the defendant is able to get into our Zoom room downstairs, we'll get them into a breakout room with Mr. Kaplan, who we have not seen in quite some time. Good morning.
I
sir.
miss you, Your Honor. It's a pleasure to be in front of you today. I think I have a few of your dockets coming up.
You think what? I'm sorry.
I think I have a few of your dockets coming up, so I
Okay.
should see more of you
I
hopefully.
I don't see it, so I don't know until the morning of usually who's assigned. But Marlisa was just saying, we're waiting for the bond recommendation for someone who turned themselves in at the court this morning. we're going to get that person into the Zoom room downstairs so they can meet with you. And then other than that, we're ready whenever the departments are ready.
Okay, and then, yeah, so, and then I'm waiting for the, was it Wayne County Jail on the other one?
Yes,
Okay. Thank you.
thank you.
Judge,
Ma'am,
our defendant that's in the building, would you like him in your courtroom or via Zoom?
he needs to be by Zoom because he needs to speak to Mr. Kaplan first. If he wants to come up later, that's his choice, but most people, most attorneys want their clients the same way they are, if that makes sense.
I understand Mr. Kaplan was going to be calling the defendant. Is that correct, Josh?
Well, I didn't know if he.
I can't hear you.
When I logged on, I was told that he was going to be I was going to get in a breakout room with him. So I'm good with either one, I guess, depending on what you guys want to do.
Okay, well, I'll be right back.
Marlisa,
Yes, Judge?
it'll be easier for him to be in the Zoom room.
Judges, okay, Judge, I'll let Maria know. Thank you.
Oh. Good morning, Van Buren.
Good morning.
How are you, sir?
I am good. You?
I am wonderful, thank you. This is Mr. Denhart.
Yes, you can set it.
Thank you. This is 220820 State of Michigan versus Franklin Denhart. Sir, would you state your name for me, please?
Thomas Denhart, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Denhart, the staff have indicated that you are waiving your right to have the assistance of the court-appointed attorney this morning. Is that accurate, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
You wish to proceed on your own for your arraignment, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Denhart, please understand that you have a right to be represented by an attorney going forward. If you're unable to afford an attorney on your own, the court is able to assign one to you. There is a petition attached to the front of your file for a court-appointed attorney. I'm signing that order right now. You will be assigned an attorney going forward. It will appear to you at the future court dates. They will use the phone number that you provided to be in communication with you. As indicated, sir, today is the day and time set for your arraignment in this matter. It is alleged that on May 13, 2021 in Van Buren Township, you committed the following. Count 1, breaking and entering, entry without breaking with intent. That you did without breaking, enter into a shed located at 6603 Outer Drive with intent to commit the crime of larceny therein contrary to MCL 750.111. That's a felony punishable by up to 5 years in prison and fines of $2,500 plus court costs. There is also count 2, breaking and entering, illegal entry without owner's permission. It's alleged that you did enter with or without breaking a certain building or structure, to wit, a shed located at 6603 Outer Drive, Van Buren Township, whether occupied or unoccupied, without first obtaining permission to enter from the owner or occupant, agent, or person having immediate control thereof, contrary to MCL 750.115. Sir, this is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 90 days in jail and/or fines of $500 plus court costs. Sir, inasmuch as you're not represented by an attorney this morning, the court will have you stand mute to the charges against you. There is a bond recommendation from Van Buren Township Department of Public Safety, sir, indicating that they do not oppose a personal bond to you in this matter. This court will adopt that recommendation and set your bond at 5,000 personal. You do not need to post any money, sir, but what you must do is continue to appear as directed by the court until this case is resolved in its entirety.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Marlisa, you didn't put a court date in here.
Sorry, Judge, 2/1. Or no,
Tomorrow?
that's tomorrow. Wrong date.
2/8.
2/8.
At what time?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what the bond was.
5,000 personal.
I felt personal bond will be 9/15.
Mr. Denhart, your next court date will be February 8th, 2023 at 9:15 a.m. That will be back with me, Judge Martin, courtroom number 1, back on Zoom. Again, this is case number 220820 FY. Next appearance date, February 8th at 9:15 a.m. Anything else, Mr. Denhart?
What day is that, Your Honor?
Anything else, Van Buren?
No, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Denhart, I'll see you next Wednesday, sir. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Hi, good
Good
morning.
morning, Mr. Lee.
Good morning.
We'll get you into a breakout room with Mr. Kaplan so you can discuss the case once you come out of that meeting room with him. I'll get your case called and we can get you on your way, okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you so very much. You can have a seat, sir. There should be something that pops up on the screen to take you into the breakout room with the attorney. This is 224794 LT. This is Integrated Property Services versus Shamika Young. May I have your appearances, please?
Morning, Your Honor. Now Jack Francis on behalf of Plaintiff's Attorney of Record P72322.
Ms. Young, unmute yourself and state your name for the record, please.
Shamika Young, present.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for hearing on the plaintiff's request to lift the Sarah stay in this matter that's been in place now for 97 days. Ms. Francis, how are we proceeding this morning?
Your Honor, we are going to enter a consent judgment. The rent to retain is $5,860, late fees of $200, court costs of $216.50, for a total amount owed of $6,276.50.
I'm sorry, 6,200.
$76.50 with a writ date of February 11th. And this is also a money judgment, Your Honor. I believe Ms. Young was denied for Sarah, so that's why we were also requesting to lift this day to address that issue.
Thank you. Ms. Young, the last time we were here on October 26th, the court entered a stay based on your statements that there was an ERAP application. Have you since been denied for ERAP?
Yes, they sent me a denial on the 20th of January.
Ma'am, based on that, the stay is lifted. Ms. Francis further indicated that the parties have agreed to entry of a consent judgment that has past due rent of $5,860, $200 in late fees, excuse me, $216.50 in court costs for the total judgment of $6,276.50. Is that correct, ma'am?
Yes.
And the consent judgment will further indicate that you have until February 11th, 2023 to pay this amount or move from that's a Saturday. So that would actually be the 13th,
Sorry.
the Monday, to pay that amount or move from the property.
Yes, ma'am.
And did Ms. Francis explain to you that because you are not represented by an attorney and Integrated Property Services is, that this judgment will not be final and enforceable for 3 days?
Okay. So
And
if I,
because you,
I'm sorry.
no, you go ahead.
I'm planning on departing the unit.
If you do that before February 11th, excuse me, please be sure you turn your keys in
Yes,
to
ma'am.
the property and provide your forwarding address, okay?
Okay.
Because you appear on Zoom and not in person, there is not a signed consent judgment in the file. Have you authorized Ms. Francis to sign your name to a consent judgment?
Yes, ma'am.
Her office will prepare that consent judgment signed for the plaintiff and for you, submitted to the court. I will sign it and a copy will be mailed to you at the address we have on file, okay?
Okay.
Anything else, Ms. Francis?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Ms. Young?
No,
Ms. Young, good luck to you, ma'am. Have a good afternoon.
thank you. Same to you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Kaplan, I don't have a file as of yet, but as soon as it comes up, I'll get Mr. Lee's case called.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Mr. Kaplan?
Yep.
Did you by chance receive my second email?
Yeah, I just called Sumter. They're trying to figure out logging in wise. I don't know what's going on, but yeah.
Okay, thanks. I just want to make sure you got it.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Kaplan, I have the file. Give me one moment. Mr. Kaplan,
Yes, Your Honor.
sorry about that. This is 190210 FY. This is State of Michigan versus Jeffrey A. Lee. May I have your appearance, please?
Joshua Kaplan on behalf of Mr. Lee. Mr. Lee, will you state your name for the record?
Jeffrey Allen Lee.
Your Honor, this is a date and time set for a voluntary walk-in arraignments. For purposes of arraignment, my client will stand mute and will waive formal reading of the charges.
Thank you. Mr. Lee, you have an absolute right to be represented by an attorney going forward in this felony matter. Attached to the front of your file was a petition for a court-appointed attorney. The court has signed that. You will be assigned an attorney going forward. It will not be Mr. Kaplan. It will be someone else that uses the phone number and information you provided to the court this morning to be in communication with you. Mr. Kaplan has indicated that that you are waiving the reading of the complaint in this matter. Sir, you also have a right to be considered for pretrial release. Attached to the front of the file, Mr. Kaplan, was a recommendation from Romulus Police Department that Mr. Lee's bond be set at 5,000, 10% based on his lack of family ties, the fact that he lives out of state. Your comment as to bond, sir?
Yes, Your Honor, I would actually request a personal bond. I think the fact that he is voluntarily appeared from Ohio today actually serves to show that he does take this matter very seriously, and he will be here for all future court dates. Certainly, being from Ohio, he wasn't aware of some of these charges during the the period of COVID. He's in school at a technical school for trades right now. He has no criminal history, and as I said, he voluntarily drove from Ohio to this court to be here in person. I believe he intends to show up at all future court dates, and because of that, a personal bond would be appropriate in this matter.
Thank you. And Mr. Kaplan, the court was aware that he had voluntarily surrendered himself. The court does have some concern that Mr. Lee did reach out to the court back in June of 2020 to discuss this warrant. He was advised to turn himself in to be arraigned and did not. We are now 2.5 years since he contacted the court last, but based on the fact that he did in fact voluntarily present himself to the court despite having an outstanding warrant. The warrant has already been canceled. The court will set his bond at 5,000 personal. Mr. Lee, you do not need to post any money today, but what you must do is continue to appear as directed by the court until this case is resolved in its entirety. Sir, your next appearance date will actually be next Wednesday, February 8th, 2023 at 9:15 a.m. They'll be back here with me in courtroom number 1 on Zoom. Court staff can give you notice of that date, sir. 9:15 next Wednesday, February 8th.
Yes, ma'am.
Anything else, Mr. Kaplan?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Lee?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Lee's court staff is still on the Zoom, so they'll give you notice of that Wednesday, that next Wednesday, February 8th return date, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, Huron. Oh, sorry, Mr. Lee. You have 16H241021. This was Huron Township versus Jeffrey Lee. This was a speeding ticket from 2016. You owe the court $310. Before you leave this morning, please speak to the court's collection department to set a payment plan in this case, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Lee. I'll see you next Wednesday.
Thank you.
Mr. Beach?
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning.
I don't know what happened.
He went into the breakout for some reason.
Can I go? Should I just go in there and try? Oh, there it is.
Mr.
Yes, ma'am.
Beach,
Yes,
how are
ma'am.
you this morning, sir?
I've been better, I've been worse, but I'm doing okay.
The reason I wanted to talk to you first, this is 230060FY. Sir, your case is scheduled for felony arraignment, but in the file, there is an indication that you have refused to complete a form for contact information and refused to complete the form that indicates whether or not you wish to speak to the court-appointed attorney. So let's start with the easy part first. Do you wish to speak to the court-appointed attorney for assistance with your arraignment this morning, or is it your intention to proceed on your own, sir?
I'm sorry, I'm overwhelmed with everything you just said. I didn't refuse to do anything. Do I?
Mr.
do I
Beach?
wish to do what?
Do you
Yes,
want to
ma'am.
speak to the court-appointed attorney before you are arraigned, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
We'll get you into a breakout room and you can speak to Mr. Kaplan when you're ready. You can come back into this main session. I'll get your case called.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now I'm back in the room too. Yep. I did all that worrying for nothing. I guess I'd rather be over prepared, but that's,
Okay.
thank you, sir.
I'll be up and going for that.
Okay. Marlisa? Again, this is 2300060 State of Michigan versus Devin Michael Beach. May I have your appearance, please?
Joshua Kaplan on behalf of Mr. Beach. Mr. Beach, will you state your name for the record?
Yes, Devin Beach.
Your Honor.
Thank you. Today,
I was going to say, Your Honor, so I apologize. Today's the day and time set for an arraignment. And for purposes of arraignment, we will waive formal reading, stand mute to the charges.
thank you. Mr. Beach, are you able to hear Mr. Kaplan right now?
Yes, I am.
We're waiving the formal reading, have you stand mute to the charges. Sir, you have a right to be represented by an attorney going forward in this felony matter. If you're unable to retain an attorney through your own resources, the court is able to assign one to you. the request for appointment of the attorney petition that was submitted is not signed and dated by you, but sir, you wish to have an attorney going forward.
Yes.
The court will grant the request for an attorney. You also have a right to be considered for pretrial release. The recommendation from the police department is that your bond be set at 10,000, 10%. Conditions be no alcohol or drug use and no contact with Jackie Beach, Connor Beach, and that you do not return to 44879 Willis Road. Mr. Kaplan, your response to that recommendation?
Yes, Your Honor. We have no objections to the no contact order or not returning to 44879 during the pendency of this case. And we have no objection to no alcohol or drug use allowed while on bond. We would request a lower bond, give my client more of a chance to bond out and get things straightened out so he can take care of these matters. We'd request 1,010% bond on this. He's not working right now, but he was working in heating and cooling. He's looking to go back into that if he's released. He does have parenting time with his two children, ages 1 and 3, that he's hoping he can continue to have. So at that point, that's why we're requesting $1,010%, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Kaplan, while the court appreciates your position, the recommendation also indicates that Mr. Beach has a number of cases that have gone to warrant status with multiple arrests for his failure to appear in prior cases in this courthouse, that he is currently on probation, that he's committed offenses that should have violated his probation back on January 2nd, that he is alleged to have threatened his little brother with a knife, that he, per his family, has been abusing alcohol and drugs excessively. The court has some concerns about his threat to community safety. Based on that, his bond will be set at 5,000, 10%. The court will adopt the other recommendations of the police department and add the provisions that he have no alcohol or drug use during the pendency of this matter, that he has no contact with the victims in this case, that being Jackie Beach and Connor Beach, and not to return to 44879 Willis Road. Mr. Beach, no contact means no contact, no direct contact, no contact through third persons, no contact through social media. Your next court date will be February 8th, 2023 at 8:30 a.m. That's back here with me in courtroom number 1. We'll be on Zoom at the 34th District Court. Again, it's case number 230060FY. Next appearance date, February 8th, 8:30 a.m. That's next Wednesday. Anything else in this matter, Mr. Kaplan?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think we're all set. Mr. Beach, good luck to you. I'll see you next Wednesday.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
I think we're just waiting for the county now.
I do have a 10 a.m., so I'm gonna be waiting for you guys to let me know when they show up on my phone, and I'll be ready to go when you are.
Understood.
Thank you, Your
Thank
Honor.
you, sir.
Judge,
Ma'am.
I goofed on that sticky note and I wrote TBG, not you.
I know, it startled me for a moment, but I have my little trusty cheat sheet right here. This file does not have the order part for the court-appointed attorney. It's just a request. There's not a place for me to sign. I wrote a note on the ROA. I don't know if there's a second page to this.
Isn't there one paperclip to the top?
it's not the usual one. It's a different one that has a place at the bottom for the defendant to sign indicating that I've made a decision and that I will pay for, I could be required to pay based on my ability to pay. But there's no place for me to sign that actually says,
Okay, I'll fill
I
out
reviewed
a
the petition.
different one. I'll put his name on a different one and send it up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have you sent the other ones electronically or did you print them out?
I'm sorry, I had stepped away. Well,
Did you have other orders that need to be signed? My question was, did you print them out or did you send them by email?
I have not done either one yet.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
I don't know what you're here for. I need you to unmute.
Sorry, Marlisa, I have it. I'm bringing it down.
Hey, Wayne County, how's it going? It's you 2 times in one day. Hi, it's good to see you.
Yep, I'm glad you guys are the last of the day. Today was a madhouse.
Oh, has it been? Oh, boy. Oh, well, you know what? That's not bad. 11, 12, and it's over. Is the defendant with you?
He is en route to me right now. They said less than 2 minutes.
Oh, cool. Okay, because, Mr. Kaplan, do you need to go to breakout room when he gets there?
Yeah, I'll need to get a
Okay.
quick breakout room.
Okay, cool. All right. Thanks, deputy.
You're welcome. We'll meet you in the breakout room.
All right, thank you. Hey, Josh, was that enough time?
Yeah, we're ready.
Okay, cool, thanks.
This is 21VB01743 AOD. This is Van Buren Township versus Joseph Mowat. May I have your appearance, please?
Your Honor, Joshua Kaplan on behalf of Mr. Mowat. Mr. Mowat, will you just state your name for the record?
Joseph Mowat.
Mowat.
Mowat. Thank you, Mr. Mowat. Today is the day set for the arraignment in this matter. It was a bench warrant for Mr. Mowat's failure to appear for sentencing. Mr. Kaplan.
Yes, Your Honor, we would request that you would call the warrant. We're going to wait for a reading. My client is currently, he's incarcerated. This is the last hold that he has on him. Upon his release, he will be wearing a tether with no contacts for issues that are going on in other courts. We would request a lower bond, Your Honor, $1,000, 10%. He does have the ability to get that. He has 3 kids. He's broken up that he hasn't seen them in a week, and he's got a good job with Comcast as directional operator for underground fiber. He does have reason to take care of this, especially those 3 kids. So we'd request that you set a lower bond in anticipation for a sentencing.
Thank you, sir. The recommendation from Wayne County Sheriff's indicates that the bond is court's discretion. They further indicate that Mr. Mowat has a 5,000 personal with tether bond for an assault case, where his next scheduled appearance date is February 8th. This court's concern is his failure to appear for Judge Oakley's sentencing back on May 10th, 2022. He's failed to undertake any effort to present himself to the court prior to being in custody on another matter. This court will, I thank you for your advocacy, Mr. Kaplan, but the court will set the bond as previously indicated by Judge Oakley at 5,000, 10%. Reset his sentence date for February the 14th, 2023 at 9:45 a.m. That will be with Judge Oakley, Chief Judge Oakley in courtroom number 2. Anything else, Mr. Kaplan?
No, Your Honor. Thank you, guys. Good luck, Mr. Mowat.
Anything else, Wayne County?
That's it, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
Thank you. You and your staff have a wonderful day.
Have a great day, Your Honor. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Want me to take us down?
Yes, ma'am. We're done for the day. Thank you.